Chapter 4. Weasel. The name had haunted my sleep and made my wide-awake hours uneasy for as long as I could remember. Once, when Molly and I were just 4 and 6 years old, Mama and Pa took us to town. They bought supplies and talked to the other grown-ups while Molly and I played with the other children. The children whispered to us strange tales about Weasel. They said he was part man and part animal and called him wild and bloodthirsty. They said he preyed on settlers like us. He came in the dark of night, killing whole families and stealing whatever they had. That night, terrified, we asked Mama and Pa about this creature called Weasel. Pa said, "It's pure nonsense, nothing to worry about. You know how folks like to talk." And Pa made us laugh, trying to imagine a creature who was part man and part animal. And Mama rocked us and sang. But later, when I woke up with a bad dream, I heard Mama and Pa talking. I learned that Weasel was real, but he wasn't really part animal. He was a man, an Indian fighter. The government had sent him out to make the state of Ohio safe for settlers. His job was to drive the Indians off. Remove them, Pa said, to Kansas. Pa said Weasel had his own ideas about removal, and most often it meant killing. Pa said he did his job all right. The Shawnee named him Weasel in their language because he hunted them down just like a weasel. He's cunning. He's not a big man, but he's fearless. Like a weasel, he hunts by night and sleeps by day, and he kills not because he's hungry, but for the sheer sport of it. They say he even looks like a weasel. He's tall and slender, and his hair is brown with a big shock of white in the front. It's that hair that reminds folks so much of the animal. You know how when a weasel is half into its molt, it shows part of its white winter coat and part of its brown summer coat? That's the way he looks, I guess. And just like a weasel, they say he can pass through any opening big enough for his head to get through. "Remember when that weasel got into the hen house?" said Mama. "It killed every single bird. It didn't eat them or take them home to feed its young. It just killed them." Mama's voice was shaky, remembering. Then I heard Pa say, "And now that the Shawnees are dead or driven off, they say that Weasel has turned on us settlers. Shoot, folks fear him more than they've ever feared the Shawnees." "But why?" Mama asked. "Why is he killing the very people he was sent to protect?" "I reckon when a man's been killing his whole life, something happens inside him, and he can't see any other way," Pa said. "But what about us?" asked Mama. "What about the children? Are we safe?" "Duffy and Win aren't about to let any weasel sneak up on us," said Pa. "And you know how to shoot that rifle as well as I do, pretty near. I guess it wouldn't hurt to start teaching Nathan, though," he added. I didn't tell Molly about what I heard that night, but the next day I asked Pa to teach me to shoot. I practiced and practiced until Pa joked, "Why, son, you're almost as good a shot as your mom." Molly and I looked up, round-eyed at the stranger, both of us asking questions at the same time. Are those horrible stories about him true? Is he as cruel as they say? The man looked at us steadily for a long time, as if he were trying to decide how to answer our questions. I was sure he was going to speak to us at last. Instead, he opened his mouth wide and leaned forward. We stared into a gaping black hole. At first I couldn't make sense of what I was seeing, and then I realized that where his tongue should have been, there was nothing. Nothing at all.